everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 210. If you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, thanks so much for checking out the podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, spinning, hand-dyeing yarn, and sewing, and doing all those awesome things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live. And as always, I'm super happy and thankful that you are taking some time out of your day to chat about those things with me. So if you have been tuning in the past previous episodes, you probably are aware that I have been in deep trunk show prep, dyeing yarn like a mad woman for the past 2 weeks. But I will be vending at UNTANGLED, which is a trunk show that happens in Kingston, New York, not too far away from the Dutchess County Fairgrounds where Rhinebeck actually happens. So if you are going to be in the area that night, please do stop by, say hello, and check out all the amazing indie yarn dyers and fiber artists that are going to be there. I'm going to be there. Dennis will be with me. He's going to be helping me. And yeah, I'm just super excited. Cannot wait to meet everyone who's gonna come in person. And I have a cat. Bella is saying hello. I can't remember the last time she willingly like jumped on my lap while I was recording, but she's here. Would you like to say hello? Yeah? Come on, let's say hi. Hi everybody. What's going on? I missed you. Did you have a good nap? Yeah, normally this is her nap time. She's coming up to say hello. But anyway, as I was saying, are you comfortable here? Yeah, you just want to hang out? All right. So yes, yeah, UNTANGLED, I'll be there. And if you are wondering when I will be having another shop update, it will be happening, whatever I do not sell at UNTANGLED will be going into the shop that following Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will also be having a regular shop update that Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just double check the website, my website, VoolenvineYarns.com, for any update info. That's where you can find, get the latest and the greatest as far as when I update the shop. And speaking of which, if you want to get show notes for this episode and every other episode, you can get them at YarnGasmPodcast.com. And you can also watch the podcast there if you don't watch it on iTunes or YouTube. Other places you can watch this episode, watch my podcast. And now I'm just totally rambling. But anyway, so there's that. And then I should also mention, if you would like to follow me on social media where I'm most active, I am most active on Instagram. I am at Voolenvine there, and I am Voolenvine on Ravelry, and I think that is it for administrati stuff. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. I'm trying to get better at just talking about all the logistics and administrative stuff at the top of the episode and not sprinkling it in the middle. But anyway, I have a finished object to share with you. Wow, it's been a long week. I have a finished object to share with you this week. Again, if you have not seen it on Instagram, you are seeing it for the first time on the episode. And let me go get it. So yeah, I posted about it last night. I was blocking it last night. So it's finished, it's blocked, it's cast off, and I could not be more happy with the way my exploration station shawl turned out. It is done, completely done. I am so in love with the way this turned out, you guys. And I have to say, I was really apprehensive or hesitant to cast this shawl on. I think it's been in my, I purchased the pattern a long time ago. It's been in my queue, and I mean, I love the idea of it, but seeing all the crazy colors, you know, it seemed like a really fun pattern to knit. But the thing that was stopping me is that, you know, I'm gonna spend all this time, all this work on this shawl, and, you know, using fun colors that I love and everything, and it's gonna look awesome, but I'm not gonna wear it. So finally, I don't know, I dyed up these colorways. This is my hand-dyed yarn, Voolenvine yarns, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But I saw the combination and I was like, these look so lovely together. They have to be in a shawl or something together. And the first thing that came to mind was Exploration Station. I'm like, you know, I could see these colors together, knit up together in the Exploration Station, and I would totally wear this every day. And I have to say, not only was this project super fun to knit, Yeah, granted, it had its ups and downs. There were some hitches and glitches, some blood, sweat, and tears, but I endured. And at the end of the day, I have to say this is one of my favorite projects that I have ever worked on. And yeah, it's gonna get a lot of wear. So yeah, and this is a pattern. Exploration Station is a pattern. You've probably heard of it. It's all over Ravelry and Instagram if you're a knitter. But it's a pattern by Stephen West, and yeah, the yarn is Voolenvine yarns on the blitzed base in my Jilted Rose colorway, which is color A, and then color B is Tega, and then you have color A again, and then you have color C, which is Black Pearl, and then you have color D, which is Dirty on Purpose. And you do all these different wedges, you know, so like with the colorway solo, but as you get into the nitty gritty of the pattern, you have this nice, really lovely strip of brioche, which combines color B and C, which is Tega and Black Pearl. And then here you have a slip stitch section, which combines Black Pearl and Dirty on Purpose, which you can't really tell the difference between the colorways because they're so, well, Black Pearl is kind of like a gray, black, purple color, variegated or tonal, I would say, and then Dirty on Purpose is a gray, brown, black speckled colorway. So combined, you can kind of tell, but not really. And this has to be my favorite section because it combines Tega, which is like a kind of like a muted mauve, grayish, purplish color with brown undertones. It's very tonal, and it combines it with Dirty on Purpose. And you guys, how awesome is that? I want to knit a sweater or something combining these two colorways again because I just really love the effect. And it's striped. I don't know. This is just like a garter stockinette, stripy garter stockinette section, I guess you could call it. And then yeah, I capped it off with color A in Jilted Rose. So yeah, this is going to be my Rhinebeck shawl. If you watch, truck went by Brooklyn. If you watched my last episode, I came to the realization that the Rhinebeck sweater, my Recoletta by Joji Locatelli, wonderful pattern. It's just not knitting up as quickly as I had hoped, so I'm not going to stress out. I'm putting it to the wayside until after Rhinebeck to work on it, to enjoy it. But so I will not, well, I will have a Rhinebeck sweater if it's cold enough. I will be bringing my stone cutter, which I worked on by Michelle Wong, a pattern by Michelle Wong that I knit out of, oh goodness, wool in their worsted weight in the ash colorway. I'll try and post a photo of it here so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's my backup Rhinebeck sweater if it's chilly enough. But in the meantime, I have a Rhinebeck shawl that I'm very happy with, and I will probably be wearing it, like just folding it down a little bit like this, and then wrapping it around like so. So it keeps my chest warm and cozy, and it is so squishy, and I love it. And I have to admit, I could totally see myself knitting another one of these. I want to cast another one on immediately using crazy colors, believe it or not, just because it was such a fun knit, and I'm so curious to see how it, you know, works with other colorways, maybe be it for my stash or other colorways that I dye up. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but even, you know, if you're not crazy about modern looking shawls or you've been tiptoeing around casting this on, I just say go for it. Pick some colors that really stand out to you. No, even if you're like a little afraid that you might not wear it, just pick out 4 colorways that you know that you love and you wear a lot, and that's probably the way to go. But yeah, thumbs up, love this pattern so much. And by the way, I should mention that I am co-hosting a Exploration Station knit along with Laura from the Dyer's Notebook podcast and the dyer behind Jinx Yarns. So our hashtag for this, it's still going on. You can still join in if you're a quick knitter. This, I would say you can bang this out before October 31st. So the deadline is October 31st. We both have, Lauren and I both have respective knit along groups in our podcast groups on Ravelry, so if you would like to partake in it, head on over there. I enter to win some prizes and everything. All the details are there. So yeah, I'm very excited. Yay! Yeah, so that's all I have to say really much about this. And I'm gonna take this off right now because it is quite toasty in my office. So yeah, but love this thing so much. Yeah, and that is pretty much I've been pretty monogamous on this, with the exception of casting on something else, because I do want to have another sample to put on display for my trunk show. So there are two colorways that I dyed up that I love seeing them together, and I actually posted about this on Instagram as well. I couldn't decide what I wanted. I'm a little infatuated with brioche at this point, so I kind of wanted in it like a nice little brioche simple cowl combining two colorways of, you know, that I dyed up. Plus I also want to knit something for Dennis. I've been promising him something for a while now, and he needs a winter accessory or fall accessory. So I found this free pattern on Ravelry. It's free, and it's called, I'm totally gonna butcher it because it's French, but I'm going to do my best. CROIEILE. It's the CROIEILE cowl by LEONIE Thornilly, and again, it's a free pattern. If you are new to brioche or learning brioche or obsessed with brioche, check it out because that's all it is. So this is being knit out of, again, my hand-dyed yarn, Voolenvine yarns in Mexican hot chocolate. This is it caked up, and again, dirty on purpose. I find like I use dirty on purpose a lot as a contrasting colorway. I don't know why, it's one of my versatile speckled colorways. But yeah, it's just like a gray, like the base is gray and black, and then you have brown and black and gray speckles on top of it. So yeah, I would say it's a very versatile neutral speckled colorway. And then Mexican hot chocolate is kind of like a brownish red and white tonal. It just reminds me of hot chocolate with, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Chocolat with Juliette Binoche and Johnny Depp. I think it came out like over 10 years ago, but she makes a Mexican hot chocolate for Judi Dench in the movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't know why this colorway reminds me of it, because I guess the cayenne pepper in the hot chocolate, yeah, it's just such a lovely, lovely red. Anyway, so I cast this on, and gauge is not really important when it comes to knitting this, because it's, again, it's a cowl. It's just gonna go around your neck, and I am just so excited with the way this is knitting up. Yeah, so that's the right side, or the side that's gonna face outward. And then, are you ready for this? The inside. How awesome is that? I love it. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to have this done by next week, so I may just kind of work on this in my own time. Again, it's so up in the air as far as what I'm going to be working on or what projects, but I think I either want to also cast on a vintage prim hat by Andrea Mowry, who is, by the way, I think Andrea Mowry is becoming a very popular designer right now. I feel like everyone I know that is a knitter is knitting something by Andrea Mowry right now, and I can see why, because her patterns are just absolutely beautiful. This is not by her, as I mentioned, but I definitely want to knit the vintage prim. I want to knit the bramble shawl, or is it bramble? I think it's the ramble shawl, which Maria from Stitched in Sweden is currently knitting. I have some really lovely yarn by Road to China that has its name all over it, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is pretty much my, you know, kind of like my vanilla sock at the moment. You know, when I'm watching TV, I'll just work on this. Yeah, and it's so squishy. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much what's been on my needles this past few weeks. I haven't been working on any socks because, again, I've just been dyeing yarn, and knitting in my spare time and sewing a little bit. I am guilty of taking a sewing break, which do I want to talk about right now? Let's talk about mail first, because I did get some mail, but let me take a tea break. So moving along to mail, I had a lovely mail week. This week I received a really, really lovely package from Kim of Chasing Acorns, and she has started making project bags, and she contacted me and said, you know, this project bag has your name all over it. I want to donate something to your Unicorn KAL, which I am co-hosting. I forgot to mention this at the top of the episode again. I'm co-hosting a Unicorn KAL with Magdalena from the WOLFF and SCHAFE podcast. And yes, the deadline for that is October 31st, so knit anything of or related or pertaining to unicorns, and yeah, definitely check out the thread in our respective Ravelry groups. You can double dipping, totally cool. Check the Ravelry groups for more info because I feel like I'm repeating myself every week. Yeah, it's a super fun KAL, and you know, sadly I have to put a dent in my poor unicorn stuffy that I'm knitting. It needs a body. I'm still at the head. I haven't worked on it, and poor thing is like just staring at me on the shelf like, I need a body, please knit me a body. So it will get a body pretty soon. But anyway, again, I digress. Kim kindly, generously sent me 2 project bags, one for myself and one for you viewers who are partaking in the Unicorn KAL. And she sent me this, which is absolutely adorable. It's a drawstring project bag, so it goes like that, and then it does that. And I love the tags. Like, it has a really sturdy handle and some fuzz that I probably added. And here's her tag if you're curious. And it has one of these cool thingies that you can clip on. And the one thing that I really, really love and appreciated about this bag is that she added like these little snaps on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so they snap together. So you can box the bottom of the project bag, which is awesome. I would say that this is perfect for a, look at that, this box. There's that, and then that. But this is perfect for like a sock on the go or a small project. And yeah, here's her label on the inside. And I really like I don't know, it's almost like a waterproof material. So if you have a spill, I don't know why you would put a drink in here, I have no idea, but I like the fact that it has a waterproof interior for some reason, because spills happen. I mean, if you want to use it as a lunch bag, you can totally do that. That's an idea. But yeah, thank you so much, Kim, for sending me one for myself and one for one of our viewers. So yay, love it, love it. And she also sent some really delicious tea and a lotion bar, and thank you so much. That was really, really lovely to get in the mail. So very exciting, yay. The other thing that I got in the mail, Gabby from the Once Upon a Corgi podcast and Once Upon a Corgi Yarns, you know, had texted me and she was like, hey, I dyed up this colorway and, you know, totally reminded me of the Unicorn KAL knit along, and I have to send you a skein as a giveaway. So I'm like, please do, thank you. So I got it in the mail, and you guys, what's it called? I'm gonna get this right. Demon Unicorn is the name of the colorway, and I love it. Totally inspired. Oh gosh, where is the letter? I think it was inspired by a video game. Again, I'm totally clueless when it comes to video games. Jake was playing Diablo 3. So that's the video game where this was inspired by, and apparently there was a pet demon unicorn following around one of the characters, and I have to look this character up, but I imagine this says it all. So yay, thank you so much, Gabby, again for sending this sending this my way. Cannot wait to share this with one of our viewers. Yay. So okie dokie, that is it for mail. Moving along, next up is sewing. Wow, I feel like it's a lot of talking today, guys, but lots of info. So sewing, once again, I have a dress that I sewed this week, and it is, let me get the thing. I had gone to Joann Fabrics with Dennis a couple weekends ago, and we stopped by, and they were having a sale on Butterworth patterns, and of course I had to pick up another Gertie pattern because I'm a fangirl of hers. I absolutely love her patterns. They're so retro and fun, and a little difficult, I will say, but this one was quite compared to the halter dress that I made a while back, the black eyelet halter dress. This was a piece of cake. I really had fun putting this together, and the fit is perfect. And again, Butterick definitely has my number. I will say I have to finagle the patterns a little bit, but not much compared to Simplicity or Simplicity patterns. Butterick and McCall's are generally, they are my ballpark size most of the time. And this one definitely hit it on the hit the nail on the head as far as sizing goes. But yes, it's Butterick B6167, and here it is. This is what it looks like. And yes, I am wearing it. So I have to say, I really had fun putting this together, and I could totally see myself living in this dress all fall long. I mean, of course, fall, it's a strap dress, so, you know, of course I'm going to be wearing like a cardigan over it. Generally, I live in dresses all year round, so it's not going to be a problem. Normally, I layer a lot, so yeah, I really, really love wearing dresses, and definitely can see wearing this all fall long. And I could totally see myself making another one. It goes without saying. But anyway, let me show you what it actually looks like. Another awkward dress shot, whatever you want to call this kind of frame. Boob shot? I don't know. But as you can see, it has this little ruched detail, gathered detail in the bust area. And then there is boning in it, just some boning here, and then there's like another, where is it? Let me see. Yeah, there's boning here and then boning in the back as well, just to keep the structure of it. Although I could see, if I make this again, putting some boning here as well, just to keep it up a little. It is a little baggy in the front. I will say I almost wish this part came down, because my bust line is here, and this ruching or gathered detail right here starts a little bit, like maybe like an inch above my actual bust line. But I don't think it really makes a difference. I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's fine because it's a detail. I don't know. What do you guys think? But yeah, so, and I just put a belt on it, but without the belt, it's just a simple gathered waistline, which I think I nailed this time. So yeah, I'll sit down now. But I definitely feel like I nailed the gathering on this dress, or like this is the best gathering that I've ever executed. Does that make sense? The best gathering that I've ever done on a dress. And normally I either use the dental floss technique, where you zigzag over a long strip of dental floss and gather it that way, or then there's also using elastic. I actually just followed the directions this time, because I was actually tired of doing it that way. I was like, all right, I'm tired of gathering dresses and skirts in those two ways, so I'm just gonna do what the directions say, where you just set your stitch length to 4, like a long stitch length, and you do 2 rows of long stitches across the waistline, or, you know, wherever you're making your gathers, and then you just draw them in together. And I don't know why I haven't been doing it that way from the get-go, because it just makes it so much more easy or doable, if that makes sense. So yeah, this was, as much as I really don't enjoy, I will readily admit, gathering skirts and anything related to gathering is not my favorite, but this just made it so much more tolerable, if that makes any sense. So yeah, again, love the pattern, highly recommend it if you love retro styles. The only thing that I did that I was not expecting, the skirt is quite long. I believe it came like maybe for some reason I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I put a pin in the skirt where I wanted the hem to fall. Like normally I want it like right above the knee or at the knee line. But anyway, long story short, the dress was too long, and I ended up cutting it a little bit shorter than I would have liked, but I think it worked out just fine. I posted photos of it on Instagram, so you can see it in all its glory there, or I can post a photo of it right here. And for those of you, I know people were wondering about my Vivienne Westwood inspired dress, and I finally took photos of that, so I will be inserting that right here. Dennis and I had gone to a wedding this past weekend, and I wore the dress, and it held up beautifully. I loved it. and I got lots of compliments on it. So, but yeah, I really love the way it turned out. I did ruche. See, I'm getting it, guys. Thank you to everybody who let me know how to say that word, ruche. I ruched the sleeves a little bit, or gathered them in a little bit, so it created some kind of like drapey texture coming down to the V-neck line. But yeah, it was just a really, you know, maybe I'll talk about it in blather, but it was a fun wedding. We danced a lot, great food, just a really wonderful time with friends, and the dress was awesome. So yay! As for other sewing plans, I definitely plan on making some more fall dresses, which, by the way, we are having a fall wardrobe sew along going on. It's very casual, so if you are just looking for inspiration or motivation to sew together some fall garments for yourself, definitely check out the YarnGasm Ravelry group, where you know, you can partake in that. And again, forgot to mention it at the top of the episode, we do have a YarnGasm Ravelry group where you can partake in all these knit-alongs and make-alongs. And yeah, join in all the fun. So, but yeah, we are having a fall sew-along or make-along, and you should totally join. But yes, I did finally get around to, well, before I made this dress, I was going to sit down and work on my Victorian make-along. It's a make-along that I'm co-hosting with Benjamin Crudwig from the Design Time podcast. We decided that we're gonna do a little Victorian make-along because Victorian garments are just so lovely and awesome. So I'm gonna make a corset, and the plan was to make this Butterick. They have like 4 different versions of corsets, which is awesome, but it's Butterick B4254, and I was going to make this, but as I was laying the fabric, the pattern pieces out and about to cut into them, I realized, again, I ordered the wrong size. This is only sizes 12 through 16. I am, as you can clearly see, below that. So I ordered it in my size. But then I also decided to check out this, because I stumbled upon this and I said, oh, that looks awesome. This is Ladies Victorian Underwear, 1840 to 1900 by Laughing Moon Mercantile. And you've probably seen this floating around the web as well. But they give you 2 versions of corsets to sew, and they also give you the undergarments. So I was thinking, like, as far as Halloween is concerned, I'm teetering between combining these 2 patterns. Obviously, I want to make this one. I decided for my mauve corset, I'm going to be making this one. But for Halloween, because I haven't really officially decided what I'm going for for Halloween, because it is coming up quickly. For some reason in my head, I want to go as a Victorian vampire, if that makes sense. But looking at this pattern again, I think I want to bite the bullet and try sewing that one or this one. They all look awesome, and you know, anyway, so it's still kind of up in the air as far as what I'm going to be going as, but if I do that, it's going to be either this one or this one in combination with one of these undergarments right here. I think this, obviously the skirt, but just some kind of like morbid goth vampire. I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, I'm a little all over the place when it comes to Halloween costumes. I don't even have a party to go to or anything, but I just love the idea of making a Halloween costume. Even if I don't have a party to go to, I can always podcast in said costume, and that'll be the Halloween episode. Anyway, so let's move along to the next segment, which is Ask Away, which is a thread in the Ravelry group where you can ask me pretty much anything you want about me, the podcast, knitting, spinning, hand dyeing, sewing, and I will do my best to answer it on the episode or within that thread. So I picked 2 questions out, and the first question is from _expected, and she wants to know, I was wondering what your favorite fabrics to sew with are and what you like about them. Okay, so I still have a lot of fabrics to explore when it comes to sewing, but I've mainly sewn with quilting cotton. I've mainly sewn with, well, mainly quilting cotton. I've sewn with chambray. I've sewn with double gauze. And what else have I sewn with? Canvas for my project bags, and lace, very little lace, as you can, if you've been following me on the podcast. But my favorite thus far, my favorite fabric to sew with is double gauze, just because of the hand. It's very soft, it's very versatile. I have an Anna dress that I made out of it, and it's just so lovely. I wear it all the time. It's comfortable, it breathes, and yeah, I highly recommend it. I would say even if you're new to sewing, if you want to step away from the quilting cotton for a little bit, because I know that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with quilting cotton. This is quilting cotton, which I forgot to mention. It's not the softest, but you can get away with it, depending on the pattern. You know, mainly sleeveless patterns, I think, go very well with quilting cotton. But yeah, I would say give double gauze a try. It's just a wonderful, wonderful fabric to work with. And I also, surprisingly, I don't wear too much denim, but chambray, I made the macaron dress out of it, and it's sturdy yet soft, and again, breathable, and you know, it moves well with your body. I really enjoyed working with that, and lace. I mean, as little experience with lace that I do have, I found that I really enjoyed working with it, and I love the results. I did mention that I signed up for a craftsy class for sewing with shears, and I cannot wait to dive into that, because I have a funny feeling I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm probably hexing it right now, but anyway, can't wait to just get started on that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And the next one is from, and I apologize if I'm going to butcher it, but if I had to guess, it is probably pronounced Shonachdub. It's Sionachdubh, and I apologize if I butchered that, but she wants to know, I'm just getting into dyeing my own yarn, and I'm curious if you steam set your yarn after immersion dyeing. Currently, after I finish dyeing my yarn, I wrap it in plastic wrap and steam it for about an hour. I'm wondering if this step is necessary. Thanks, Lally. Okay, Lally, short answer, no, you don't have to. If you're already doing submersion dyeing, it's in the water, it's hot, it's with acid, you're gold. You don't have to steam it after. So yeah, that's the short answer. But again, there's no there's more than one way to set the color, to set dye into yarn. So you can either steam set it, you can do immersion dyeing, you can do the route where you wrap it in plastic and put it into the microwave, although that has to be like my least favorite tactic, because you're wrapping it in plastic, putting it in a microwave, and then when you open the microwave after having it in there for about like 10-15 minutes, the fumes, I don't think that's quite good for you. So I could, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not my favorite method of doing it. But it really depends on your personal preference of dyeing yarn, and what works for you with the different techniques that you're doing. So, but if you're doing immersion dyeing, you don't have to steam it thereafter. So hope that answers your question. And again, if you have a question that you would like me to address, please leave it in the ask away thread in the YarnGasm Ravelry group. So moving along to Blather, which is a segment where I talk about what's been going on in my life. Rhinebeck, yes, it is nigh. It is coming upon us very quickly, and I will be going on Saturday. I will have Dennis and my mother-in-law in tow. We will be there, so if you do see me or us, please come up, say hello. I would love to meet you. Again, hugs are totally free. And yeah, I'm just super excited to meet viewers who will be there. And I'm definitely going to be at the podcaster meetup on the hill. I believe it's at 12 or noon 1. I will down bar where all the information will be, and the YarnGasm blog. So but yes, I will definitely be at the podcaster meetup. I will have buttons, and yeah, so looking forward to it. And otherwise, yeah, I have been, well, I mentioned last week that I have been binge watching Salem on Netflix, which is an awesome show. Lots of awesome costumes. I don't know how many more times I can say awesome, but yeah, it's a great show. If you love the history of witches, and it's, yeah, the Salem witch trials and everything. I mean, this takes it to a whole nother level. I don't think it's certainly not historically accurate, but if you love just like adventure and stories about witches and witchcraft, what have you, and beautiful costumes. Definitely check it out. I finished watching it on Tuesday. There were only 2 seasons. Blew through them, and what else? Yeah, the season 3 is actually coming out on November 1st, I believe. So yay, cannot wait to tune into that. Once Upon a Time started up. I've been watching that every Monday because I don't get to watch it Sunday night, so I prefer to watch it the following day. This way I can, you know, enjoy it while I'm working. And I will say it's kind of off to a slow start. I was listening to or watching Insight number 23 and with Katie, and she was talking about Once Upon a Time, how when it's good like this, but there's so many plot holes and, you know, loopholes and stuff that, and sometimes it falls into a lull where it's kind of like, what are they thinking? And right now I feel like the first and second episode into this season is just, it's kind of meh, but I kind of get an idea that they're just trying to figure out where the plot line's going, so, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, but I've been watching that. And then Dennis and I have actually started watching The Walking Dead season 6, I think, and I had no idea that season 6 even came out. We were just browsing Netflix and Hulu and the like, and we noticed that it was there. I'm like, yes, we have something to watch now. So yeah, that will be our latest binge watch for the following couple of weeks. So yeah, I don't know, I can't get excited about that show anymore. I feel like it's kind of played out, and I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, it's kind of lost its appeal for some reason. I don't know, but that is not all. As you recall last week, I totally blew through the audiobooks for the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan. It's a young adult book series about, again, witchcraft. I am on a total witchcraft kick, apparently, because of the vampire drought. I have not been able to find a vampire series worth reading. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who reached out to me with suggestions. All the suggestions are awesome, and they're all added to my list, and I hope to get around to all of them because they do sound awesome, so thank you. The drought has passed, I think. I think I have a well of vampire literature to read and listen to in the coming months and weeks, what have you. But I was talking to Nina from the This Old Knit podcast, which is a really awesome podcast, guys. You have to check her out. I think it was her, and then I also heard it on Jilly's podcast, The Knitting Broomstick, and they had both read A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. So Nina told me, she's like, you know, oh, you should definitely check that out. It has witches, it has vampires and demons, and I was like, I am sold. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love young adult novels, but I'm kind of, you know, I'm still reading the Sweep series, but I'm kind of craving like more, just taking it up a little notch on the maturity levels. But not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just kind of craving like more, you know, an adult world, if you will. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway, you know what I mean. So yeah, I started listening to the audiobook yesterday while I was dyeing yarn, and oh my gosh, you guys, I am totally hooked. It got mixed reviews, but it's definitely what I've been craving. So if you are looking for kind of like a Halloween type of book to read, definitely check that out. Thank you, Nina, for recommending it. It's awesome. So yeah, but anyway, I think that is it for this week. Just a lot of, you know, listening to audiobooks, watching TV in the background while I work, and it's been a long week, guys. I have a huge bag full of yarn sitting next to me. I have a wall of yarn sitting over there with yarn that I have to find a bag to put it in to transport it all the way up to Untangled. So it's gonna be fine. Dennis is gonna help me out. He's very excited, you know, to help me out, and I gave him the option. I, you know, said, I have friends that want to help. He goes, no, I want to help you. So I'm like, okay, yay, thank you. So yeah, that was, you know, that's awesome. So, but anyway, I think that is it for this week. I apologize if I seem a little scatterbrained today. I am quite scatterbrained, but very happy that tomorrow's Friday. I think tonight Dennis and I will have date night. We'll go out and just have a really nice time. So that said, I hope all of you are having a wonderful knitty week, enjoying the fall weather if fall is upon you, if summer is coming upon you, or spring. I hope you were enjoying that. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.